Hi, my name is Myra Tanksley, and I'm recording this on October 5th, 2016. I want to welcome you to this page. As you can see, it will be audio tapes. The focus will be audio tapes of my son as he tells me about the suffering, abuse, and neglect that he is enduring, that he has been subjected to. He also tells me repeatedly that he loves me, misses me. He also indicates that he wants to come home to live with me. Um, but I need to actually get to this complaint that I filed with the court to have my son's unfit, very um, sick, evil, corrupt attorney named Aaron Sanford to be removed as his guardian and have me reappointed as his guardian. And I might be able to give you a little bit of background, but I want to get to this complaint disposition because I filed a guardianship complaint on September the 9th, 2016. And I told him that, my son has no quality of life, which is true because he's not doing nothing. I mean, he likes to watch TV. He likes to play sports. He likes to watch sports. He's got certain music he likes to play. He misses me. He has no family life. They don't even have him working. Only thing that he does is go to light treatments because he acquired a skin condition that he didn't have at home there. And Wednesday he goes to counseling because the U.S. Department of Education initiated that with the Columbus City School District. But other than that, he doesn't even get to watch cable TV. It's just awful, So he doesn't get to, he has no holidays. He doesn't even get to spend his birthdays. He doesn't get to see me. They won't allow me to visit with him or him to visit with me because, I'm supposed to turn my head and keep my mouth shut. They don't like a black mother standing up, advocating, and exposing these people. So I don't want to make this tape too long. It's an audio video, but I never put video on there unless I can try to put video of the documents. And I haven't got proficient in that. So anyway, I knew they wasn't gonna, and I'm a Christian woman, I want to say that, and so is my son. And God will bring him back home. Because sometimes God will harden heart so God can show out and show his power. He did that with the Egyptians and the Israelites, where God told Moses, I'm gonna harden the Pharaoh's heart, so I can put these plagues on them, and everybody will know that I'm in charge and I'm God. So let's go and get to this. It says, Ms. Tanksley was removed as Marquis guardian after the guardian ad litem David A. Belinkie petitioned the court for her removal based on the grounds that Ms. Tanksley constantly created an adversarial environment with care staff and staff at the Columbus Development Center. No, I spoke up and I let people know when my son was being abused and neglected. And I could prove that. And by the way, I have 2 pages already on Facebook besides this one. And the first one is called Abuse and Neglect of Autistic Marquis Tanksley by the Government, full of evidence, pictorial evidence. There's some audio videos on there, and there's documents. The second one is called Justice for Autistic Marquis Tanksley. And again, it's full of evidence, a lot of documents and stuff. Because I'm going to, before I put the audio tapes of my son out, I'm going to put some tapes on Aaron Sanford, David Belinkie. He's now deceased because he was so evil and arrogant. And you'll hear on that tape how arrogant he was, and that he thought he was all powerful and phenomenal and unstoppable. And that's offends God. God, that pride and injustice offends God. So, and I knew when I was talking to him and listening to him that God was going to punish him. But don't you know, God let me know that man was dead because God made me go get a newspaper. And, that's another story. And I don't want to take up too much time. But he is now deceased. But it said, because this thing is just full of lie, that David A. Belinkie petitioned the court for her removal based on the grounds that Ms. Tanksley constantly created an adversarial environment with care staff and staff at the Columbus Development Center. that is not what he petitioned the court to remove me as guardian. He said that I wouldn't consent to a uh, evaluation. But on the audio tape, you'll hear him tell me it was a mistake because he didn't know that I had already consented to Marquis, for Marquis to have an evaluation. And plus, they don't want you to have a guardianship when you're going to advocate. You know, they want somebody in there that goes along to get along, like Sanford, that works for the system. She works for probate court. She ain't gonna create no waves. She don't care nothing about my son because she has no emotional attachment. She might care about her kids or whatever, but she don't care if he's getting abused and neglected. All she wants is that money, and she's gonna go along, get along. So when they need a signature, that's who they want. Because, you know, when they take your guardianship away, they know they don't have to deal with you. Your kid could be in a hospital, or your loved one, or, you know, whoever that person is to you. They could be in the hospital, injured, ill, anything, and they don't have to call and tell you about it. So they love, well, you know, that's the first thing they like to do because it protects them. But you know, my son is able to tell me things and stuff, and God has revealed things and let me find out things. So that's a lie. And they have always, you know, like I said, these are very sick people because they have always tried to break up and destroy my family tied with my son. They have always tried to destroy my family. And when I'm saying my family, I'm talking about me and Marquise. And that's sick to try to destroy a family relationship or family bond between a loving, supportive, intelligent mother and a disabled individual. Because I'm a registered nurse. I've been one for 30 years. But, you know, and they have maliciously slandered me. Now, they slander Marquise too, but they have maliciously slandered me because they can't say I'm a whore or I'm ignorant or, you know, I'm on drugs or anything like that. They can't say that. But these people lie on you. And that's why I said these audio tapes are, uh, it's the time for them. Because we can hear Marquise in his own words, you know, um, rebuke and rebut. Because when they say that, you know, I escalate him and like I get him all upset and stuff, that ain't what he says on the tapes. My son ain't never told me to get out or I hate you or leave me alone or don't come over here. And like I told him, I said, idiots, he vents to me, not because of me. After you all have treated him like uh, crap and put him in sensory overload and abuse him and restrain him, then he vents to me about it. And he's not quiet about it. Plus, he's angry and upset that he can't come home to be with the mother that he knows that loves him unconditionally and that he loves. I said, that's what he's venting about. But all of them say that because they can't say nothing else. And it's all a lie. And I said, I'm going to put these audio tapes out here and we'll let Marquise, you can hear the conversations that me and Marquise have. Because, you know, when he tells me, and it just splits my heart in two, but the Lord gives me the strength to, you know, because I don't want to break down and cry in front of him, even though I might be crying inside, because I don't think you would want to go in there and see your child or your loved one the way I've seen Marquise. And you definitely wouldn't want to hear them, whether they're on the phone or face to face, tell you they're being abused or slapped and stuff. How would you like to hear that? And you're not able to see it. But I've been able to, you know, keep it together because then I have to calm him, reassure him that everything's going to be all right. And I do tell him he's going to come home. That's my Christian faith. And if you're not a Christian, you're not going to be able to understand that. But I do tell him. I said, when I call Sanford, because she doesn't talk to me because she's a coward. She won't talk to me. And so they always give me her voicemail. I said, we pray about it. I said, but you wouldn't understand that. You're not a Christian. You're one of these evil people that human scum that God talks about, that talks about injustice. That's because when God talks about injustice, he's not talking about the average person on the street. He's talking about these people that work in these courts Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, you know, lawyers, judges, magistrates, court investigators, and anybody aligned with them. And the Bible's full of it. God hates injustice. He hates it. I said, so ain't no use sitting up there. Nobody can tell me I'm wrong about it, that it don't exist. Even God says injustice exists. Even he says these people exist. So ain't no use trying to pretend to me that you don't do it. There might be a few ethical and clean judges or courts in this country, but there's a lot of injustice. And that's why David Belinki's in the grave right now and stuff, because not only um, did he do it, he bragged about it and he thought he was unstoppable. And sometimes God will just put your light out. You know, enough is enough. That's because when you do that, you offend God. And plus, he was, like I said, very arrogant, very prideful. God hates arrogance. But he put him in the grave and let me find out about it. So that's a lie. Um, and they say I have turbulent behavior and stuff. I never went over there, did anything violent, you know, because when you say turbulent, I never kicked down the fence. I never banged on the wall, broke a window, but I do use my mouth to advocate for my son. So if you want to call that turbulent, but I said, you know, I know there's racial equality in this country. God has put things out racially about this country front and center. Whether you try to deny it or not, God will put it at the front door for the whole world to see. And, you know, it's like, what? You know, because I'm black, I'm supposed to just hang my lip, hang my head, turn my head while you abuse my son. I love my child like they love their children. That's the way I feel about it. And I'm not going to turn my head. But turbulent behavior, you know. So what's the turbulent behavior? I've never been arrested for anything. But, you know, for me, exposing these people, you know, they are going to slander me. And that's okay, because God will vindicate me and stuff. I already seen what he did with Belinky. And that's why I know God wanted me to know. Because he told me, when I looked in the paper to see that man's name in the obituary, God said, that's the reason why I made you get that paper. I was shocked. I was shocked that God, you know, made sure that I knew that he put him down. And he said, vengeance is mine, I will repay. And this is a warning to all his friends in the court system. But let's get back to this letter, because I think I'm going to go ahead and put this letter on the page too, and you know, deal with it. So that was a lie. And then it said that Sanford said that he speaks with me. Marquis talks to me on the phone several times a week, which is a lie. And there's been several times that I haven't talked to Marquis for a whole month. And that's because he wasn't allowed to call me. Because if he doesn't call me, it's not because he don't want to. It's because he hasn't been allowed to. And like when he goes to medical appointments like that light treatment, I never hear from him on Tuesday and Thursday because they know he'll come back and tell me stuff. Because my son is verbal, praise God. So he's able to express his feelings. So that's a lie. And then it said that my conversations were unfair to Marquis because I always promise him that he's coming home. You better believe it. That's my faith. And you're not going to understand that unless you're a Christian. Unless you're a Christian, unless you believe in God, because all things are possible with God, period. And like I left the message, I said, not only do I tell him that, we pray about it. And we thank God for it, that he's coming back home. And I said, and don't mess with it. I said, because he has a right, and I have that right. You don't tell me what to say with my son. I said, and I said, you better watch yourself. I said, because you're on the wrong side of the ring. I said, you don't touch God's plan and purpose. You cannot outbox God. Because he's going to come home if God wants him to come home. If that's in God's will for my son's life, he's coming home. And you can't outbox God. So then she said that his placement has been an immense benefit to Marquis. Well, we'll hear what Marquis says about that. It ain't been a benefit for him when he's not able to get enough to eat and they won't feed him. He's acquired a skin condition that he didn't get at home. It never happened to him at home because they said it might be hereditary. Well, we don't have a family history of an advanced thing of psoriasis. And he never had it when he was at home living with me. Then they said it might be because of the lithium. Well, lamictal will make you have a skin infection, but not lithium. The lithium is just, for bipolar and stuff. And I said, Marquis has been on Depakote before. He never had a psoriasis and stuff. But I'll get to that. That's later on down the thing. And then, the audio tapes that I have of my son, hearing him being verbally abused by the staff just because he's on the phone talking to me, hearing them physically abuse him when they made him was trying to get him to get off the phone, and Marquis was going to move, because they were all around him. And then all of a sudden, the phone went dead because they grabbed the phone. And I was scared. I called the police. I said, because knowing these people, I said, they might grab the phone from me, might have hit him upside the head with it, and start hitting, beating on it. So I said, the police over there. I sure did. Because I said, it's just shocking. I said, you people have got to be idiots if you think I'm going to hang my head and keep my mouth shut because I'm black and let y'all abuse my son. I said, it just ain't going to happen. I said, but I'm not really worried about it. I said, because that's why I got these other 2 pages out there, and I've created this page. Because I'm an evidence girl. I can rebut and show the liars that they are. Then it said that Sanford said Marquis becomes upset and sometimes shows aggression after telephone conversations with his mother. Adding he will also refuse to take his medications. Well, Marquis doesn't want to be on medications. It's not because I don't tell him. I've never told him not to take his medications. Never. But you hear on the audio tape that Marquis doesn't want to take medications. He doesn't believe that he needs them, and he's scared of the side effects. Because he takes the maximum dose of Thorazine, because they want to make him be a zombie. But God said, I'm going to protect his mind and brain, because I got a divine purpose and a destiny for your son. He said, I'm in charge. And then they got him on lithium, and then he takes Vagentin for his side effects. Then she said, Sanford said she does not want to restrict or deny me visitation rights with Marquis. Huh? Then why don't you allow me to go over there? Because they don't want me to see all of that stuff and take pictures and get evidence. They don't want that. That's the reason why, a main purpose of them taking the guardianship from a family member like me is to make sure that I don't know things about what's happening that I can't use against them. It helps protect them. Because if you don't have to call me when he gets injured or have to go to ER or whatever, then it protects them. When you got somebody that goes along, get along, that's evil, corrupt, and unfit, because I'm gonna put tapes of Sanford on this page. I got a tape of her telling me and Jill Flagg that she can't handle mental health caseloads. So I'm trying to talk fast so this thing doesn't go over. But anyway, so you want somebody that not going to create any waves, that's going to go along, get along. When you need a signature, they'll sign a signature, because she don't care nothing about my son. She has no emotional attachment to him. He's just a cash cow. She just gets that $800 or however much SSI is for him every month, while he lives in a rundown, tiny townhome. But like I said, I guess maybe God has spoiled me when he let me know he put Belinky in the grave. And I said, because God gonna bring him back home. I mean, if God wants him back home with his mom, he gonna bring him back home. His way, his time. I said, but punishment might be in order. And I've seen God do things because he's been angry with the way people have, consistently do evil things, especially when you're messing with a Christian, because we are taught and told to step back and let God handle it. And God can handle it in many different ways. And he will take you off this planet if he has to. But sometimes he don't have to. He just showed that, hey, it's going to be my way. He's coming back home. Ain't nothing you can do about it. And that she had conversations with me about my conduct. Sanford won't even talk to me. I always have to leave a message in a voicemail. Because every time I call, oh, she with another client. Or she ain't here. I said, just give me her voicemail. Because I really don't want to, but I understand why she ain't going to talk to somebody that knows that she's unfit, that she's evil, she's sick in the head, and she's a corrupt, unethical lawyer. And to me, that's, all the professions to be ethical, a lawyer, I said, that's just you can't get no low, that's the lowest of the low. Of all the professions, to be lying and cheating people out of their rights and taking bribes and practicing injustice. A lawyer. And there's plenty more like Sanford too. She ain't the only one. She's got plenty of company. So let's get back to the rest of this. Um, then he said he talked to Consumer Support Services Associate Director Karina Carsomet, and this Consumer Support Services is made up of the managers, and the owners are actually service coordinators that work for the county board of DD. You know, it's all about the money and stuff. And you must go to my Justice for Autistic Marquis Tanksley page because I have documents about Franklin County Board of DD on there, um, audio videos. David Belinki's is on there, but I'm going to put his on there. And I might just go ahead and transfer that stuff over to this page because it gives you kind of like a background. I got Aaron Sanford on there. I got CDC, which is the state of Ohio owned, operated ICF MR facility. And it's ran by the Ohio Department of Developmental Disabilities. And I must say that where they have him placed now in this rundown, tiny townhome is operated by the state of Ohio. All they did is kind of fix it up a little bit and put a locked black gate around it. It's located at 48 Mayfair Boulevard, Columbus, Ohio. And, you know, there's other, I mean, it's a little strip of townhomes. And there's other ones that right down the alleys, there's, you know, the same type of townhome structure built and everything. So he lives in a little tiny place. And then they were saying that I say he doesn't have no quality of life, which he doesn't. He ain't doing, because I know all the stuff my son likes to do. I got his stuff right here waiting for him. He likes to listen to music. He likes watching ESPNC. He likes playing games with me. He's got hobbies. He likes things that he likes to collect. You know, he likes to watch sports. He likes his favorite meals. It's like he ain't getting none of that stuff. He ain't getting none of that stuff. And then he said that the Consumer Support Services Associate Director Karina Casimir said that they had to give him dispensing and supervision, transporting Marquis appointments, seeing to any emergency needs. Well, how come I got on audio tape, Miss Kershmat, your staff yelling at my son, verbally abusing him, upsetting him, where he's saying, leave me alone, I want to talk to my mom. I'm hearing them getting ready to physically abuse him and assault him because he's saying, move, I want to talk to my mom. And then they grabbed the phone from me. How come I got audio tapes of, yeah, that's why I said this page is in order. A Marquis telling me that Ebon, a staff member named Ebon, grabbed his arm because he wouldn't take medication, grabbed his arm, made him cry to get him out of bed. Another staff member choking him. I heard some gal in the background screaming and yelling at my son because he was on the phone. I have heard other incidences of verbal abuse. So let's not try to pretend. Because I got audio tape, okay? So the whole world can hear how you people lie. So let's not try to pretend that all is honky-dory over there with Consumer Support Services. And said his aggressive behaviors and attempted elopements nearly ceased. Because Marquis has tried to elope out of there, but he can't, you know, he's afraid to go outside. I got my son telling me that y'all have allowed other residents to abuse him. How about that, you know? Because he said some girl came over there and threatened to hit him. And but he has told me a couple of times he tried to run out of the locked black gate, you know, because it's like a prison that he lives in and stuff. So let's not try to pretend that everything's honky-dory. Let's move on with this. I told you they said he had this, like an advanced form of psoriasis and somewhat hereditary. Well, ain't nobody in our family got it. How about that? And that it might be enhanced by the psychiatric medications. Well, if you're going to continue to let him take a medication where his skin is so bad that he has to go to light treatments twice a week, just shame on you. And that his aggression always elevates after he had telephone conversations with Miss Tanksley. Well, why wouldn't he have them during the conversations? Could it be that After he gets off the phone with me, he misses me so much and wants to come back home that he might become angry and upset. And so I'm blamed when I'm not even there or talking to him when he has aggressive behavior. Could it be his environment? Could it be the staff? But I forgot. You can't say I'm a whore or I'm a drug addict or I'm unintelligent or I haven't got my GED. I'm a nursing professional. I got a nursing degree and I've been a nurse for 30 years. So what else can we say to slander this mother? Yeah, right. Um, and that's why I said the audio tapes is in order. I don't want to play all of it because I have, some audio tapes that last an hour. But, I just want to play the part that shows that you hear how Marquis feels about how he's being treated. His feelings about being there, his feelings about being abused and neglected, and his feelings about me. But I always have to comfort him. I always have to comfort him and reassure him that everything's going to be all right. And with my Christian faith, and now he's a Christian as well, he understands that we can have peace while we're going through this old deal. And God will make it all right. God is a God of justice. And you better believe I reassure him with that. Even though my heart is breaking inside, I stay strong through God for him because I don't need to cry and break down. Because how would you like to hear your son or daughter tell you on the phone they're being assaulted and abused, ain't eating, you hear their health, gain all this weight and skin condition, and you can't see them. No parent should have to see their son or daughter the way I've seen Marquis. Um, but my heart has split in two, whether he's talking to me on the phone or face to face with the things that he have told me. Um, but they always have said that. I said he vents to me not because of me, and I want him to tell me his feelings, and he wants me to know his pain. But what else can they say? And uh, me and Marquis, we have nice, calm conversations. Because he'll get angry and upset when he's telling me he's hurting, he's crying. But I always, with God, am able to comfort him. And then we get to talking about our favorite hobbies and what we plan to do in the future and, the stuff that we miss and what we'll be catching up to. And we have wonderful conversations and calm conversations, by the way. It says, added there was occasions, there were occasions, well, uh, not occasions, but it should be occasion, but it says occasions with an S. I discovered where Marquis was living. And Marquis goes to counseling by U.S. Department of Education agreement with Columbus City Schools on Wednesday. So I did, and the Lord, how I found out where he lived? Jesus revealed it to me. He's all in this thing. And he revealed to me where my son was living, and I seen him because I hadn't seen him in 3 months. And I was shocked because he had gained so much weight. His head looked like it was filled with helium. You can see that cover picture. The cover picture is on Facebook on this page. Well, it's on all 3 pages. And you can see when I last was able to visit with him, when they last let us visit. And then you'll see when I seen him July the 8th, how much weight it was in 3 months, less than 4 months. That's how his appearance had changed due to the large amount of unhealthy weight that he gained within 3 months. So, and it was July the 8th. It was summer. It was hot. He was dressed in dirty sweat clothes, long sleeve sweatshirt and sweatpants. Hair was all matted and uncapped and stuff. Just look at the picture. He looked terrible. He just looked terrible. And then it says that Marquis had ran out across the street to see me when he saw me, which was a complete lie. And guess what? I have the videotape of it because I was parked in the parking lot across from the tiny strip rundown townhomes. And actually, when Marquis first seen me, they had already crossed the street and had already started walking in the parking lot. It's all on videotape, which also have audio too. And I believe I'm gonna put it out there because I think I'm gonna take this and just dissect it line for line to show what lies they are. I think that'll be next. That might be the next page. Just take it and dissect it. Because that's a complete lie. When he seen me, he didn't run across the street. When he seen me for the first time, because he had already crossed the street. And then that's when he seen me. And then some heavy set white lady that works for them grabbed my son and took him back across the street. And you can hear him on this videotape say, I want to talk to my mom. He was yelling. And she actually sent him back across the street by himself. That's when he crossed the street by himself. All on videotape. How about that? That's why I said, people, become a Christian. You're going to have a victory. That's a guaranteed victory. And get your evidence. But she sent him across the street and told him to ask me, what did I come here for? By himself. All on video. So I'm thinking about having another page and just dissecting every bit of this stuff. Just from this letter itself. Just dissecting it. So that might be coming. And I'm going to just, just dissecting it right on Facebook. Let's go ahead and see what else we have here. It said that that I was stirring up problems when I called the police. And the audio tape, you hear the audio tape, how all of a sudden, Marquis would say, move, 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 and stuff, and all of a sudden the phone went dead. And I'm going like, huh? And all knowing the history and knowing how reality is, how they abuse these, residents when they have behaviors or they're non-compliant, I said, they might be up there restraining him, beating him on his head. So you better believe I called the police. Sure did. And I told him, I said, I'm afraid that, and I got the tape. I think I recorded that when I called the police. I said, this is the address. I was talking to my son on the phone. The staff just grabbed the phone from me. They were threatening, and hostile towards him and threatening, with their behavior because he kept saying move. So they must have been in front of him. I was afraid they might be up there beating on him and stuff. So you better believe it. And then they said that they went to his home and that Marquis came downstairs and he was clean. And I said, I bet he was clean because they probably told him to go up there and take a shower. Since they know that y'all were coming over there, I bet they didn't go over there unexpected. What you bet? And said that he liked the staff and they were good to him. And that has the staff ever been mean to him, he replied no and stuff. And Marquis might have been afraid, because sometimes he's afraid, like he won't talk to me and tell me everything when staff is around, because he know he'll be punished for it. They intimidate him. But they probably, because he learned that at CDC, and they let him know, don't you be telling your mother all this stuff. Don't tell on us. Because I even had to stop staff. I said, now let him answer. Don't answer for my son. Let him answer. So, he might have been kind of harassed or intimidated and not say the wrong or give the wrong answer. But the audio tapes that I have will rebuke that. He doesn't say staff is mean with me, but the things that he had told me that staff had done to him proves that they have been mean and abusive to him. So let's see the audio tapes. Let's see if they're really good to him when I put these audio tapes out here. And he said when pressed with questions about his mother, he always answered, I can't remember, I don't know. Oh, what, I'm supposed to be abusing and neglecting my son? How about that? Oh, really? Well, where's the evidence? Where's the pictures? Like I got. Where's the pictures in the audio tape? How come I got the evidence and you don't? And the apartment was clean. Of course, they knew you were coming. How about that? Said he was overweight, and then they said he talked to a Franklin County Board of DD employee. And again, she marches to the same order, same mom, escalate, same mom. But I get this thing, just turbulent behavior. I said, well, turbulent behavior? So what? Have I, what? Have I punched, kicked the door in or punched the window or banged on the locks or turbulent. I'm going to post this thing. I'm going to post it. Um, to disrupt Marquise's dating life and behavior. But the pictures are out there and sort of audio tapes are of some of the things. But I'm going to be, uh-huh. I'm looking at this right now, and I think I'm going to, because it ends with based on this investigation and the review of the court files and interviews and stuff, um, that that my allegations are unfounded, of course, because when I first called him and and told him that if they have a hearing, that I wanted to be notified by phone, not just by mail. I could swear that man banged on a desk. I'm talking about the court investigator. His name is what? Keith. Keith B. Simones. And because he's gonna go along to get along for his job. He ain't gonna go against the corruption that runs in these courts, the injustice. He's not gonna go against it. He wants to keep his job. So, and I told him, I said, because when I contacted the court before, when Marquis was being abused and neglected when he was at the state facility, I said, you all found it unsubstantiated. I said, and that's a problem with this country because you won't acknowledge your sin and your injustice. But God uh, uh, will put it out front and center. God acknowledges it. And no matter how you try to hide it, if God says it's time to put it out front and center, it's going to be front and center. But God tells us that he will vindicate. He will, in this life, and I told that man that. But and says she's properly managing her duties as guardian for Marquis Tanksley. So welcome to the page. I got to get off of here because it's almost 40 minutes. And the last time I talked for an hour and it didn't upload. So I have to get off of here. Welcome to the page. Like I said, there will be some tapes on Aaron Sanford, David Belinky. I think I might even put Franklin County. There'll probably be the same audio videos going over to this page before I start the audio tapes of Marquis. Our conversations that will rebut everything that these people are saying. I might put the videotape of Marquis, but when I view him July the 8th, 2015. But I'm thinking about, this thing is so full of lies, I'm just thinking about just creating a page for that. And just line by line, just take it and just hit it with the evidence. When you're saying you doing this and stuff like that, that your staff has been good, or even if, because I know Marquis will get scared and say things. You might have been afraid to tell him, because I'm the only one that he's not afraid to tell stuff to. And that's the reason why he vents to me. But you're a stranger and he don't know you. And the environment that he's been in with the corruption and the abuse and not telling on people and stuff, he has developed a real fear of intimidation, of not telling, maybe not being afraid to tell the truth. He really has. But I'm thinking about just taking this page, and if I do, I'll let you know, and it'll just be that page for this deposition from Probate Court of Franklin County, Ohio, just rebutting everything in the court document. So that could be coming too. So anyway, thank you. Welcome to the page. All honor, praise, and glory is given to God. Yes, Marquis is coming back home. God's ways, God's timing. Please feel free to share. I hope it uplifts you. If you're in a similar situation or a circumstance where all hope is not gone when you got Jesus in your life. If you're a Christian, if you stand back and let him fight the battle, then you'll know and you will see him vindicate you and bring justice to your life. And again, welcome to the page. My name is Myra Tanksley. Thank you for listening. Come back often as I add audio tapes, or I call them audio videos, to the page. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day in Jesus.